Police have raided 10 properties and stables across Christchurch, Invercargill and the Manawatu following a 17-month-long organised crime group investigation into horse race fixing and corruption. A number of high-profile leading harness racing people are in the spotlight, and a number of arrests were expected to be made this afternoon or this evening. After 6 o'clock tonight, we'll hear from Detective Superintendent Tim Anderson, who's speaking on behalf of the investigation. It is a big one, and it has been conducted at senior levels. But first, let's hear from veteran racing rider of 40 years, Barry Lichter. A short time ago, he told me he knows a number of the people involved.
Well, obviously the police have raided they say 10 stables, 8 in Canterbury, 1 in Invercargill, 1 in Manawatu. Not all stables, some houses as well. So from my information, there are trainers and drivers involved. I probably can't tell you who they are at this stage because that hasn't been confirmed, but it involves a lot of the leading people in Canterbury, John.
Yeah, and they are known to you. These would be people you'd know very well, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is this a shock?
It is. I mean, you're probably naive to think that race fixing has never happened in New Zealand, but I would be extremely surprised. Certainly not widespread. I'd be surprised if it happens at all. But, you know, if you're the police, you don't mount an operation of this magnitude, John, unless you've got some fairly solid evidence, I would have thought.
Yeah. So forgive me, because I am speculating, and you know this business a trillion times better than I do, but race fixing would consist, I guess, if it exists, on some horses being held back with a view to allow a preordained horse to do better. Would that be how it works, so everyone could back that horse? Would that be what we were talking about?
Yes, exactly, yeah. I mean, there are plenty of checks and balances in the system, John, for catching horses that aren't run on their merits. Like stipendiary stewards are always looking out for horses who aren't, or who are driven wrongly or badly, or they suspect are driven not to win, and there are fines and disqualifications handed out for that. And they have, the Racing Integrity Unit have betting analysts who actually look at unusual betting patterns on races too, where somebody makes a killing on a race, or there are, you know, more people betting on a particular horse if they suspect there's been a suspicious drive. And there are plenty of examples in both codes where horses are not driven on their merits or they're driven cold. Sometimes horses have quiet runs when they come back from spells or from injury. There are often occasions where horses are not given hard runs before feature races. The one that jumps to mind is a galloper called Surfers Paradise, who won the Cox Plate in 1991. And his lead-up race at Ellerslie, I think he beat one home, and they immediately jumped on the trainer and had a big inquiry, thinking it wasn't on its merits. But, I mean, this is on a completely different level. They obviously must suspect some collusion between drivers. It's not just a single horse involved, because they've been confiscating people's computers today, so they obviously think there's some kind of trail that they can pick up on.
But, Barry, how important is it that whatever's happened here, and once again, this is sub judice, and people have the right to be seen as innocent until proven guilty, full stop. But how important is it that the industry is able to persuade the people who keep it going by betting on races that there is not race fixing in New Zealand?
Absolutely crucial, John. I mean, that's the one prime factor of anything to do with racing. And people will not bet on an event or on a code where they think that horses aren't being ridden or driven to their merits. There's nothing more important. I mean, and the whole racing industry survives on betting. That's why there's been so much worry in the recent years where betting's dropping, because if betting goes down and there's no confidence in betting, then everybody in the industry suffers.
But Barry, I don't want to make you speculate or try and attribute any motive or assume guilt, but the names that we've heard, there are some fairly well-off individuals who have been named. What on earth would be worth the risk to those people? Can you even begin to speculate about that?
Well, I would have thought nothing. I mean, some of these people are the most respected in our industry. I mean, obviously where punting's involved, there are underhanded things go on, but the punter involved who the police raided this morning, I actually know him personally, And I've actually been in his presence when he's called trainers for information. It's quite common practice for punters and owners to ring their own trainers or other trainers to get information on which horses from their stable they think are going to go well. I mean, that happens all the time. And the person involved in this case, I've been there when he's run trainers to get information. I actually wrote a story about him in the Sunday Star Times about 4 years ago because he was so successful at punting that the TAB restricted the amount of money he could put on. But I would doubt for 1 second that he's involved in anything underhanded. I mean, he's just got a very good network of trainers who he's got horses in their stables, and he rings them up and says, "Hey, mate, which of your horses are the ones that I should back?" And everybody does that. I do it myself. You try and get the best information you can. So the fact, but I mean, you'd suspect that there must be something in the betting trail that's alerted the Racing Integrity Unit to get the police involved, because it's much more serious than simply a racing inquiry to have police mounting the investigation.
And the police mounting the investigation will join us on Checkpoint later on the program. We are expecting arrests tonight, a 17-month investigation. We'll have more on Checkpoint when the Detective Superintendent to Madison joins us after 6.